Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So last night's primary, it's a primary to see who's going to run against Donald Trump. So it's a primary to the primary. Right? Actually was pretty entertaining. I think Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy both strengthened their case to be Donald Trump's main opponent. Also, I would say just my general take from the event was that I think the future of the Republican Party, it looks pretty good. 2028 could be a nice battle. I wish some of these guys would actually just go ahead and get behind Trump and put their support behind Trump now, but hey, it is what it is. I think Vivek actually won the debate. He was able to do some pretty cool stuff where he pointed out that the moderators were basically Democrat media that pushed the Russia collusion hoax, and also pointed out that the DNC would never hire Brett Baer to moderate a Democrat. I thought that was a pretty good point. It reminds me of how Trump constantly tries to seek the approval of the Democrats, which is kind of annoying to me. He did a good job. I'm not trying to rag on him. I'm just saying it got a little annoying with him trying to please the Democrats and these folks that just are going to perpetually hate him no matter what he says or did. It just becomes a waste of time, a spinning of the wheels, essentially. And speaking of Donald Trump, which brings me to this article from the Daily Mail. Minnesota rejects bid to kick Donald Trump off the ballot. State Supreme Court declines effort to use 14th Amendment to disqualify him. So a bit of good news, I think. If any of these states actually remove Trump from the ballot, it could be disastrous for a Republican win, in my opinion. I just don't see the amount of people necessary writing in his name, for the write-in vote. Right? But let's go ahead and check this article out. The Minnesota Supreme Court on Wednesday has rejected a bid to kick Donald Trump off the 2024 Republican presidential primary ballot through the 14th Amendment. The state opted against being the first in history to use Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to disqualify a candidate because they allegedly engaged in an insurrection. I love how they want to call J6 an insurrection when all of these gun-loving patriots, God-fearing gun-loving patriots, conveniently left the firearms at home that day. You got to be a moron, in my opinion, to actually think it was an insurrection. You're falling for the mass media brainwash, if that's what you think it is. And said, "Congratulations to all who fought. It was cause for celebration after the daughter Ivanka Trump testified in the $250 million New York fraud trial that could sink his business empire in the Big Apple." They're saying that Trump overvalued Mar-a-Lago so he could get more loan money from banks, which he paid back on time and in full, and has no victim to this alleged crime that doesn't exist. But no, we'll stop short of saying they are meddling in 2024 election, right? They wouldn't dare do that after, 4 years, 5 years of Russian collusion accusations now, would they? Russian collusion, is all about the integrity of the election, right? So Minnesota is one of multiple states where lawsuits have been filed trying to stop Trump from running. They are using the argument that he violated his oath of office by engaging in an insurrection on January 6, 2021, when his supporters, I'll correct them, when a few of his alleged supporters stormed the Capitol, right? I don't count the flag-waving meemaws as storming the Capitol when the doors were opened for them by Capitol Police. And like I said, rests on an amendment to the Constitution ratified after the 1861-65 Civil War. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment bars anyone from holding public office if they engage in insurrection or rebellion after once having pledged to support and defend the Constitution. Ratified in 1868, the amendment was aimed at preventing supporters of the slaveholding Confederacy from being elected to Congress or from holding federal positions. A group of voters in Minnesota petitioned the state Supreme Court to keep Trump off the ballot for the Republican presidential primary to be held in March and the presidential election to be held in November. So that means if Trump gets enough write-in votes to actually still get the primary in this state, they're going to go against the voters' will. How sad and pathetic, right? The court flatly rejected the bid to keep Trump off the primary ballot. Well, good. So there is hope in the justice system. Still, right? I don't know, maybe. There is no state statute that prohibits a major political party from placing on the presidential nomination primary ballot a candidate who is ineligible to hold office. It's hard to read. Chief Justice Natalie Huston said in a 4-page order. The court said it could consider the general election claim at a later date if Trump indeed ends up winning the Republican presidential nomination and another petition is filed. So it's just pathetic. Wasted effort, wasted court filing time, wasted judges' time. This is all nonsense. A Colorado court is currently hearing a similar lawsuit seeking to bar Trump from the election on the 14th Amendment grounds. Whatever the outcome, the case is likely to end up before the U.S. Supreme Court, where conservatives hold a 6-3 majority. The 77-year-old Trump is to go on trial in Washington in March on federal charges of conspiring to overturn the results of the November 2020 election won by Democrat Joe Biden. He faces similar charges on a separate case in the southern state of Georgia. Trump was impeached for a second time by the House Representatives after the attack on the Capitol. He was charged with inciting an insurrection, but was acquitted by the Senate. Trump has hit back at the efforts to remove him from the presidential ballot, saying they have no legal basis. Like election interference, it is just another trick being used by the radical left, communist, Marxists, and fascists to again steal an election, he said in a post on his Truth Social platform. So there you have it, you guys. It's right there in front of us for everyone to see. The Democrat Party, the deep state in all these states are pulling no punches. We're 3 years post 2023 election right now. Why are all these charges coming up this year? It's so they can drag into the election season. This is all an attempt to get Trump taken off the ballot so that they can steal the election from the American people. Now, I hate saying it like that because, the YouTubes might change a law. Right now you can talk about it, but they might come back and change the rules. But for now, you can say it. But all I know is at this point, the Democrats have Joe Biden at the helm, and nobody knows really if he's going to be their candidate. Meanwhile, the Republicans have Trump, DeSantis, and Vivek, who seem to make for a pretty bright future on the Republican side of things. Especially, I like hearing what Vivek has to say, and I look forward to seeing where his political career goes. Personally, I look forward to Ron DeSantis finishing out his term as governor here in my state, and once he's done with that in 2026, he'll have a couple years to position himself to make a run at the candidacy for president in 2028. And I believe that'll be a good battle between him and Vivek. Hopefully Vivek doesn't fall off, become stagnant. I think it would be a letdown to a lot of Americans that see the promise in him and what he says if he just fizzles out. And we're going to need those guys too, honestly. Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama are kind of scary as far as what they could do in the White House. You know what I mean? Gavin Newsom and what he did with California during the lockdowns, with all the lockdowns and stuff like that, is a scary prospect if he were to get, even more power and be the president. And then, I think everybody should be done with the Obamas, and Michelle Obama would be also a scary prospect if she was in the White House too. And I don't think that she's done anything to earn that title of first woman president in the United States either. I'd prefer it be somebody that has a history of serving the American people, unlike her. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, share this video if you really want to help out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.